Hey, Jules, Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. I hope you had a blessed Christmas, people. I had to take a day. I'm married to Santa Claus, and of course, we had to pass out gifts. We had some very rare weather where it was actually raining, which was a neat trick of navigating the animals through the rain, but it's all good. And, I don't know about you, but when I get sick, I may have a day where I'm seemingly getting my energy back, and then I will get hit so hard. And that's kind of what went down for me a little bit yesterday, most certainly today. I am struggling, but I am on plan. And for that, I rejoice to no end. Seriously, such a blessing. So anyway, I thought it'd be interesting to just clarify between plant-based and vegan, because vegan is actually a movement. It's a movement. It's a cause to free and care for animals, whereas plant-based, though the food may not be any animal product, it's just a way of eating. Are you in? Okay, I have a great article by Helpline. It's one of my favorites because if you're not a reader, you can just kick it to the summaries, and it usually has a bottom line, and I'm a bottom line kind of girl. So let's get into it, people. And I know, I can almost hear you, but Juliana, didn't Santa give you a proper tripod and light and all the things you asked for? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Santa, excuse me, Santa is so good to me. He absolutely did, but I don't have the grace yet to put it together. So let's do old school one more time, shall we? At least one more time. And God bless my granddaughter, Emmy. Her name's Amelia Grace. We call her Emmy. And yeah, she's still in the hospital for those of you who have been following me. She is coming along. She was able to have some real food tonight, and they are, I don't mean real food, I just mean food as opposed to just liquids or IVs, food. Because the food she chose wasn't real food, I'll put it that way. But God is on the case, and the family hasn't had Christmas yet, but they're looking forward to that when she gets home. And they are reducing her oxygen in support to see how she's doing on her own. So that'll be really revealing. No COVID for that little girl, but 2 of our grandsons got COVID. So that's the nature of the game. They were vaccinated. It was a breakthrough case, which certainly happens. The difference is they're pretty confident that if you have been vaccinated, you probably will not end up hospitalized or dead, which is really nice. Okay, on to other topics, though do know that I'm praying for the planet. All right, so what's the difference between plant-based and vegan? I am glad you asked. A number of people are choosing to reduce or eliminate animal products in their diet. As a result of a larger selection of plant-based options, it's become noticeable at grocery stores, restaurants, public events, and fast food facilities. Some people choose to label and try and hold this and read at the same time. I'm talented that way. Bear with me, my friends. Some people choose to label themselves as plant-based, while others use the term vegan to describe their lifestyle. As such, you may wonder, what's the difference between the two? This article examines the difference between the terms plant-based and vegan when it comes to diet and lifestyle. Now, see, this may not be the truth, and the truth is one is a movement for the animals. Let's see, I pray. So the history of plant-based movement. The term vegan was created in 1944 by Donald Watson, an English animal rights activist and founder of the Vegan Society, to describe a person who avoids using animals for ethical reasons. Thank you. I'm so glad they said that. Veganism refers to the practice of being vegan, and it's a hyperlink. Veganism expanded to include a diet that excluded animal-derived products such as eggs, meat, fish, poultry, cheese, and other dairy products. Instead, a vegan diet includes foods like fruit, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Over time, veganism grew into a movement based not only on the ethical welfare of animals, but also environmental and health concerns. So true, which have been validated by research. People have become more aware of the negative effects of modern animal agriculture, like agribusiness, right, on the planet, as well as the potential negative health effects of eating a diet in processed meat and choosing saturated over unsaturated fats. In 1980, oh, I love that they're mentioning this. In 1980, Dr. T. Colin Campbell, what's up, introduced the world of nutrition science to the term plant-based and defined a low-fat, high-fiber, vegetable-based diet that focused on health and not ethics. Today, surveys indicate that approximately 2%, 2 out of 100, 2% of Americans consider themselves vegan, the majority of whom fall into the millennial generation. Super interesting. Hold on though, because millennial is not the most recent, right? I think we're like in generation XYZ right now. Let me just see. Oh wow, no, this is a great article all about vegan and vegetarian and how it's increased worldwide, and that could even be a better one, but that's actually a peer-reviewed article. I am not going there. I was about to say if I'm not in school. Sadly, I am in school. I was required to take a course, and I feel like I'm back in grad school, and it's kicking my beep. It is kicking my toes. I was not prepared for that. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, I am not going to get into that. What's more, many people don't label themselves as being plant-based or vegan, but are interested in reducing their animal consumption and trying foods that are popular on a plant-based or vegan diet. That's true. They don't even know the logic behind it. They just like the idea, and it's trendy. Summary. The plant-based movement began with veganism, a way of living that aims to avoid animal harm for ethical reasons. It has expanded to include people who make dietary and lifestyle changes to minimize harm to the environment and their health. Plant-based versus vegan. Although a number of definitions are circulating, most people agree upon some specific differences between the terms plant-based and vegan. I agree. So the first one, they have a chart here, and of course I will include this in the description of the video, and you're welcome to go back and check. And it says, excuse me, for meat, seafood, eggs, and dairy, the vegan diet, that's a hard no. For the plant-based diet, though, it's considered a maybe. Oils and highly processed foods, this is a crime, but it's completely true. Oil and highly processed foods, yes, across the board. Yes to vegan, yes to plant-based, and yet, ironically, under whole food plant-based, it is a no. So, those who truly have let go, the SOS, the salt, the oil, the sugar, they've let it go. Anyway, but under vegan, because of junk food vegan. Whole grains, yes, yes, and yes. Fruit and vegetables, yes, yes, and yes. Legumes, yes, yes, and yes. And affects other lifestyle factors, such as clothing, personal care products, etc. Yes for vegan, maybe on plant-based and whole plant-based. Okay. So what does it mean to be plant-based? Being plant-based typically refers specifically to one's diet alone. Only the diet. It's not an ethical frame of mind. Many people use the term plant-based to indicate that they eat a diet that either entirely or mostly comprises plant foods. However, some people may call themselves plant-based and still eat certain animal-derived products. Others use the term whole foods plant-based to describe their diet, and that's a hyperlink as well, as being made up of mostly whole plant foods that are raw or minimally processed. Raw vegan, right? Some on a whole foods plant-based diet will also avoid oils and processed grains, whereas these foods may be consumed on a vegan or otherwise plant-based diet. The whole foods part is an important distinction, as so many processed vegan foods exist. It's just so true, isn't it? For instance, certain varieties of boxed mac and cheese, hot dogs, cheese slices, bacon, and even chicken nuggets are vegan, but they would not fit on a whole foods plant-based diet. So true. What it means to be vegan. Being vegan reaches beyond diet and also describes the lifestyle that one chooses to lead on a daily basis. Veganism is generally defined as living in a way that avoids consuming, using, or exploiting animals as much as realistically possible. While this leaves room for individual preferences and barriers, the overall intent is that minimal harm is done to animals through life choices. And that's straight up. And I think what they mean by whatever exploiting animals as much as realistically possible. My good friend Tanny Raw, she used to have a leather couch, which even though she was vegan, she kept because she was like, these animals were already killed for this couch, right? I'm not going to add insult to injury and just, throw it away. So she she literally used it. I can't remember until it fell apart or until she passed it on to someone else, but that's what they mean. Like sometimes you already have it. Don't damage the animals twice by discarding it to worthlessness, In addition, or like if you accidentally have a product that you weren't aware had some animal in it. In addition to excluding animal products from their diets, people who label themselves as vegan typically avoid purchasing items that were made from or tested on animals, and I do my best. And I even have like that little bunny app. One sec. I'm not sure. There's a little bunny rabbit on it, and I can put in any product, and it'll indicate whether or not it's vegan. And sometimes it's tricky because sometimes, because of the laws in America, they don't test on animals, But if they're producing things like in China may require them to test on animals. So it's really tricky. I don't know how deep you want to go into the, dare I say, rabbit hole. But like how deep you want to see, because it can be layered. People are really, really tricky on how they can get around laws. But as much as possible, be true to you. So it says this often includes clothing, personal care products, shoes, accessories, and household goods. For some vegans, this may also mean avoiding medications or immunizations that use animal byproducts or have been tested on animals. And I know that was a huge controversy with this most recent COVID vaccination. And the Catholic Church ultimately said it's a go, even though it was implied that somewhere like aborted feces cells from the 1940s may have been incorporated. And what was basically said was that it was generation after generation that these initial cells were carried over. And I can't even go into all of it. God knows my heart. I do my best. This is still kind of new to me, right? I'm claiming it for sure. But a lot of this I've only been aware of in the last 3 years, and only been completely responsible for the last 2 where I've been fully committed. So in the big picture, when I'm 2 years younger than God, that's not much of my life, but I'm all in. Okay, so the summary is plant-based refers to a diet that solely or primarily consists of plant foods. A whole foods plant-based diet also excludes oils and processed packaged foods. Vegan indicates that animals are excluded from the diet, products, and lifestyle decisions. So you can be both plant-based and vegan. It's possible to be both plant-based and vegan, as these terms are not meant to divide people based on lifestyle they choose. Many people may start out as vegan, avoiding animal products in their diet primarily for ethical or environmental reasons, but then adopt a whole foods plant-based diet to achieve their health goals. On the other hand, some people may start out eating a whole foods plant-based diet and then decide to expand into veganism by aligning the rest of their lifestyle, avoiding animal products and other non-food areas as well. So in summary, being plant-based and vegan can go hand in hand. Some people may start out as one and adopt the intentions or ideas of the other approach, applying ethical, health, and environmental considerations to their lifestyle as a whole. And that's what happened to me. I was just looking for plant-based and vegan, and then I learned more about what vegan really was, and then I was still happy to eat plant-based, but I was going to go for broke on understanding and promoting veganism. The bottom line, for a bottom line kind of girl. Many people are choosing to reduce or eliminate the number of animal products they consume. While some people choose not to label their dietary choices, others consider themselves plant-based or vegan. Plant-based typically refers to the one who eats a diet based primarily on plant foods with limited to no animal-derived products. A whole foods plant-based diet means that oils and processed packaged foods are likewise excluded. The term vegan extends to one's lifestyle choices beyond diet alone. A vegan lifestyle aims to avoid causing harm to animals in any way, including through products used or purchased. Someone who is vegan also tends to take into account the potential negative environmental effects of animal products. While these two terms are fundamentally different, they share similarities. Additionally, both are increasing in popularity and can be healthy ways of eating when planned properly. And so, then there's the additional, like raw vegan, right? Which is literally just healthy plants and fruit and plant-based fats and never exceeding 118 degrees if you're prepping food like in a dehydrator, because that just leaves all of the healthy elements in there. So again, is that just about protecting the healthy food, or is it understanding about animals too? That's on you. That's on you. I am an animal person. I used to say, oh, God gave us permission. He set us above all things. We're allowed to eat animals. I mean, come on. And then I was just like, yeah, that's not just no. That's a hard no. Especially when I realized that God in his infinite wisdom was saying, by the way, the joke's on you. Eating dead animals is going to kill you much sooner than eating my beautiful food. And I so agree. So it's all good. And what I love about Overeaters Anonymous, which of course is the 12-step program of Overeaters Anonymous, is that they don't offer any diet. They have something from 40 years ago called the Gray Sheet, which is just like this really basic choose from each category type of thing. But mostly they're like, you know what, this is about 12 steps. It's about the way to live your life, and it's not about what you eat, even though eating the way you did got you here, right? But remember, for Overeaters Anonymous, it's for anorexics, as well as bulimia, anorexia, as well as bulimics, as well as compulsive overeaters. Like, it's across the gamut, because they know that food is just a symptom and that it is not the root of the problem. So there is zero conflict in the way I choose to eat. The strength of the steps is allowing me to eat the food I already loved and to just have success in caring for myself. So yay, day 57. Is that right? Day 57? Yes. Yay to day 57. All right. God is good. So are you. Thanks so much for checking in, you guys. Let me know what you think about that. Did you really know to think about it? Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm like, how do they say it? Oh, I eat vegan food. And it's a contradiction, because the food itself can't be vegan. Vegan is a cause for animals. You can say I'm plant-based vegan because the food is plant-based and your mindset is vegan. That works. Anyway, potato, right? It's semantics, but I thought it was interesting. All right, I'm going to still go struggle. I'm still struggling, people. I'm not back yet, but I'm happy to be here. So like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. What do you think? I'd love to hear your feedback. And until we talk again, know that Christmas is actually 12 days and that it doesn't end until January 6th. So don't rush to take your things down, you know? Try and honor the baby Jesus all the way to the Epiphany when those wise men arrive. It took a while to find that star. Not the star, but how to get to it. All right. Until we talk again, know that you're blessed. Mwah.